I want you so bad, alpha cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, alpha cracker. I want you so bad, alpha cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter. In Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers. Simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear Products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place, the Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Brahmin the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Luckiest. Star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment. Wow. Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
Oh, McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekwobi ayefre omose eye global info analytics omuchirema omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma omokoye nupo e no mokokoye ekohwe se hwan ena sa ebia enedue ni eto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan ena chese beto aba edi amomo na omuchire ma post no mkoye ne kokko wiem na chese eyade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro Bawumia ye ankasankaza utumu na enye asamketo akra na omuchire ma omuye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu 73.1%. Saran so ena Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya 21.2%. Omo akeke kan so de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni nto no info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye anazonko community sa. Omo koye no ebite se Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, ena afi asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka to aba enedua ya danka sa community si ombeto aba edi ama former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi adon wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa e de afi afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no. Obebom homodi aye investigations awodo na enya tese omodi afa ho ne yehu ne ekoso wo Ghana hanom. Esa so nsam wo ho no mabete ni asase we na we aton ena fa ne kosi se na den eno nti ena your Office of the Special Prosecutor chema omankasa ba beye hwehwemu e de afa sansase na ya tonton ni ntewu so ehwe ene hwehwemu bia mba bia omba ba tudwa bia GhanaWeb ebebom homodi ne de atudwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan e de ama ne ho. Orakisi ben special prosecutor ewo Ghana hanom. No din semfo bi atodwa a o chemu sisi ade se ne court. Si di ne dwuma sifa no enche bia ebehu ane se ne obi okunkum nipa medra. Enso ben nante ade akwakopiom wo court honum ade akokosa an odi injunction to dwumadie bi so nampo bibi so. Esan so chairman nanse court no emma Office of the Special Prosecutor. Just omo ho kwan kra mo muntumi ndi omo dwuma kra nanse ntemu sei. Omo nkasa de betu dwa say ade omo hwehwe obi na se omo declare nipa no wanted. Why court baby so mo say adentina mo declare sa nipa we he wanted na eno kra na esi na fani say no twemu say eta na mutietie omo na internet na no mo dwuma no entumi enkoso eno ntumi tietie aye Office of the Special Prosecutor mo dwumadie so sa na mo pa twese eno nti ena enche bia mo behu say because na maye no obi abetumi aba beka sa de we mempese bekoso eno nti mo mfa mo nsanto so na mo nka bibia famfa ho eno nti na benam so emo bi okunkum nipa so beba na tena ye de na semba court akasa an da bida asem we de wo mo de monsa etoso Mrashebedwani edema omanfo a omo ningo prampram Sam Nate George echirema ekomia kwa sisi ade dom kese ba no dani say chairman sabunsu ne space no use no ase atochima enu nte wo se ne mani omo hwe na chese ye ma no space foforo o chirema enrada anampu no aba betodwa say chairman sabunsu echirema Ono Sam George kan ho ene minority no nkofo bi kan ho na tete sisi budget ho nkita ho peso mudi o mrashebedwum entumi enkoso kra na no Sam George echem se papa e de na wo papa
I want you so bad, alpha cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, alpha cracker. I want you so bad, alpha cracker.
Don't me call one kasa.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products not your makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. Who pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Gwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. The proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer in 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Luckiest. Star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Goodluck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Papa, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh,
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekuo bi a yefre almost say global info analytics omuchirema. Omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma. Omokwa ye no po e no mokokwa ye kohwe se hwan e na se ebia enedue ni eto aba ye afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and Afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan e na chese beto aba e de amomo na omuchirema post no mokwa ye ne kokko wiem na chese e ade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro Bawumia ye ankasankaza utumuse na enye asemketo akra na omuchirema omuye eye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu 73.1%. Sarah so na Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya 21.2%. Omo akeka kan so de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni nto no info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato na omo koye na azonko community sa. Omo koye no ebitisa Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, na afi Asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka ye to aba enedua ya nanka sa community si ombeto aba e de ama former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi adon wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa de afi afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no. Obebom homodi aye investigations awodo na na tese omodi afa ho ne yehu ne ekoso wo Ghana hanom. Esansanansam wo ho no mabete ne asase we na we aton na fine ne kosi se na denden. Eno nti na your Office of the Special Prosecutor chema. Omankasa ba beye hwehwemu de afa sansase na ya tonton ne ntewu so ehwe. Ene hwehwemu bia mba bia omba ba to dwa bia GhanaWeb. Ebebom homodi ne de atodwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan de ama ne ho. Orakisi ben special prosecutor ewo Ghana hanom. No din semfo bi atodwa a o chemu sisi ade se ne court si di ne dwuma sifa no enche bia ebe hu ane se ni obi okunkum nipa medra enso be nante e de akwakopiom wo court honum ade akokọ san o di injunction e to eye dwumadie bi so nampo bibi so esan so chairman nanse eye court no emma office of the special prosecutor just omo ho kwan kra mo ntumi ndu omo dwuma kra nanse ntemu sei omo nkasa de betu dwa se ya de omo hwehwe obi na se omo declare nipa no wanted why court baby so mo say adenti na mo declare sa nipa we he wanted na enu kra na esi na fani say no twem say eta na mo tietie omo na enti na na mo dwuma no entumi enkoso enu tumu tietie aye office of the special prosecutor mo dwuma die so sa na mo pa twese enu nti ena enche bia mo be hu say because na waye no obi abetumi aba be kasa de we me pese be koso enu nti mo mfa mo nsanto so na mo nka bibia mfa mfa ho enu nti na be nam so e mo bi okunkum nipa so beba na tena ye de na semba court akasa han da bida asem we de monsa etoso Mashebejani edema omanfo a omo ningo prampram Sam Nate George echirema ekomia kwa sisi ade eye dom kese ba no dani eye say chairman sabunsu ne space no use no ase atochima enu nti wo send mani mi omo hwe na chese ye ma no space foforo o chirema endra da anampu no aba betodwa ase o say chairman sabunsu echirema Ono Sam George kan ho ene eye minority no nkofo bi kan ho na sisi aye budget won kita ho peso mudi o mashebedwum entumi enkoso kra na Sam George echem se pape ede na wo pache ono Sam George no dwumedie bi ebedi bia oba hono bi enra de kra no anopa nyina not Asante ba ne sen na fe de wo kasa ono Sam George ne omo keka ho kan ho eno nti no muntumi endi dwuma wo eye mashebedwum eno nti no chirema Sam George chirema wo send mani mi hwe na o say chirema sabonso ne no o hye no e wo se yesesa yesanzo tumu se dro na ewom no asa
And Kusha, if you throw away, especially if you're an adult, if you're not careful, a 10-year-old boy will tell you, Papa, mpacho haya ntua diengoha. He says, I'm sorry, Daddy, here you can't throw here.
In this line of work, we get to travel and meet people from all walks of life. But the conversation we're about to have is not one of the ones you have heard or seen because of the area we are in. We are at Asin Kushia. It's in the central region of Ghana, and Kushia is actually regarded the cleanest city in Ghana. How that has become the case, well, we'll be honored to hear from the man himself, the traditional ruler of this area. Ehunabobrim Nana Pra Ajinsem the Sixth is the paramount chief of the Asin Orenchi traditional area. Nana, I hope I got the pronunciation of your traditional area right.
Very correct.
And thank you very much for welcoming us actually into your beautiful castle, if that's what we can call this place.
No, palace.
It's a palace.
Yes.
Well, but it's majestic.
Thank you.
Arguably the biggest in Ghana, is that it?
I don't know. I don't mark my own answers. And I know I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay.
We Ghanaians, we exaggerate.
Well,
we exaggerate, so I'll let it pass.
Well, Nana, and you've put in a lot of work into this palace, which is a conversation we would have more and more when we get into this. But let's start from Kushia. Kushia is not just known for its traditional acumen, but more about how clean a city it is. Would you want to share with us how you've been able to achieve this?
Thank you very much for your question. It has not been easy. First of all, we as Ghanaians, we had the tradition of throwing away leaves when we used to eat from leaves. I remember when I was a kid going to school, I would buy rice and stew, and the lady would use the leaf to clean on her lap. And then I put the food on the leaf. After you finish eating, the natural thing to do is to throw the leaves away. In those days, it didn't matter.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Idea Products Nadia Makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Bramian the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makwala, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer in 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. Luckiest star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Yes, Baba, driver, *712#. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekuo bi a yefre omose eye global info analytics omuchirema omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma omokoye no po e no mokokoye ekohwe se hwan ena sa ebia enedue ni eto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan ena chese beto aba e de amomo na omuchirema post no mokoye ne kokowiem na chese e ade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro eye Bawumia ye ankasankaza utumu na enye asamketo akra na omuchirema omuye eye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu eye 73.1%. Saranso ena eye Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya eye 21.2%. Omo akeke kanso de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka ho eni ntu no eye info analysis for ichirema omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye anazonko community sa omo koye no ebiti sa Madina Ashaiman Ablekuma Central Ayawaso East Ayawaso North Ayawaso Central ena afi asanwasi wemu echirema sanka yeto aba enedu ya danka sa community si ombeto aba edi ama eye former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just a Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi ado wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa de afi afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no. Obeba mo homodi ya investigations awodo na enya tese mo dia fa ho ne yehu ne ekoso wo Ghana hanom. Esasansa mo ho no mabete ne asase we na we aton ena fa ne kosi se na den eno nti ena Office of the Special Prosecutor chema o mankasa ba beye hwehwemu de afasa nsase na ya tonton nyente guso ehwe ene hwehwemu bia mba bia o me ba tudwa bia GhanaWeb ebebo homodi ne de atudwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan de ama ne ho. Orakisi eye ben eye special prosecutor ewo eye Ghana hanom no din semfo bi atodwa a o chemu sisi ade se ne court si di ne dwuma sifa no enche bia ebe hu ane se ne obi okunkum nipa medra enso ben nante e de akokopiem wo court honum ade akokosan o di injunction to eye dwumadie bi so nampo bibi so esanso chema nanse eye court no emma Office of the Special Prosecutor je so mo ho kwan kra mo ntumi ndu mo dwuma kra nanse ntemu sei omankasa de betu dwa say ade omo hwehwe obi na se omo declare nipa no wanted why court we be so mo say adenti na mo declare sa nipa we wanted na eno kra na esi na fani say no twem say sa na mo tietie omo na enti na no mo dwuma no entumi enkoso eno ntumi tietie aye Office of the Special Prosecutor mo dwuma die so sa na mo patch say enu nti ena enche bia mo be hu say because na waye no obi abetumi aba be ka sa de we me pese be koso enu nti mo mfa mo nsanto so na mo nka bibia famfa ho enu nti na be nam so obi okunkum nipa so beba na tena ye de na semba court akasa han da bida asem we de wo sem so mo de monsa eto so Mashebejani edema omanfo a omo ni ngo prampram Sam Nate George echirema ekomia kwa sisi ade eye dom kese ba no dani eye say chairman sabunso ne space no use no ase atochima enu nte wo send mani mi omo hwe na chese ye ma no space foforo otrema enrada anampu no aba betodwa ase o say chairman sabunso echirema ono Sam George e kan ho ene eye minority no nkofo bi kan ho e na tete sisi a budget won kita won peso mudi o mashebedwum entumi enkoso kra na Sam George e chem se pape e de na wo pache ono Sam George no dwumadie bi ebedi bia oba ho no bi enra de kra no anopa nyina not Asante eba ne sen e na fe de wo kasa ono Sam George ne omo keka wo e kan ho eno nti no muntumi endi dwuma e wo eye mashebedwum eno nti no kirema Sam George kirema e wo send mani mi ye hwe na o sai chairman sabonso ne sepe no a o hye no e wo se yesesa esanso tumu se dro na ewom no asa
Welcome you once again to the Minister's press briefing here at the Ministry of Information. Today we have invited you at the instance of the Cybersecurity Authority and some international partners who are in Ghana for the Cybersecurity Capacity Building Conference 2023. I will invite the dignitaries for their comments, but before I do so, permit me to acknowledge some special guests who are here with us today. We are joined by the President, Global Forum on Cyber Expertise, Mr. Chris Painter. We also have with us the Director General of the Kofi Annan ICT Center, Dr. Collins Yeboah Afari. Also with us today is the Director General, Ghana Domain Name Registry, Nana Kofi Asafo. We also have with us the Special Envoy of GC3B, Mr. Mokhtar Yedali. We are also joined by the DG of the Moroccan Cybersecurity Agency, General Mustafa Rabbi. He is accompanied by the Moroccan, an officer from the Moroccan Cybersecurity Agency, Mr. Hisham El Ashga. We also have with us the Director PPVME, Mr. Alfred Keynote. Mr. Note, if you are here. We have with us the Director RMS of the agency, Mr. Samuel Anchi Jechi. Also with us is the President of Isaka Accra, Mr. Daniel Jampo. We are also joined by Mr. Sharif Issa from IIPGH. We also have with us the Director HR of Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, Mr. Austin Hesse. We also have with us the Project Coordinator, e-Transform, at the Ministry of Communication and Digitization, Mr. Maxwell Edu. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority with us, Dr. Albert Anchibuesiako. But just before I yield to him, we also have here Ms. Elaine Badu, the Senior Communications Manager at Global Conference on Cyber Capacity Building. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will yield to DG for his initial remarks, and then he will introduce the Global President for his comments, and we will come back to you for the second part, which is the Q&A session. Thank you.
Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Fatima, we're grateful for welcoming us here. And also, together with your Minister, Honorable Kujopon Krumah, the support of giving to the authority to disseminate this information to the public. We're grateful to you, Madam. Chris Painter, the President of the Global Forum on Cyber Expertise, and your team from the GFC, we're grateful for the confidence you have in the Republic for selecting us to host this event. Thank you very much. A very good friend of mine, Mokhtar, thank you for accepting the role of the GC3B envoy and for facilitating the dialogue between the Republic and the GFC team. We've had our own challenges, but you've played a significant role in making sure this event happens. We're quite grateful to you. Members of the Joint Cybersecurity Committee, I think some of them have been mentioned already. Members from the industry, the Nejambo is here. But the ministry, officers of the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, who have provided supervision, guidance over this project. I call it a project because it's still a work in progress. So not we're grateful for the guidance you're giving to us. So William of the EVE Transform Project Unit for the support, especially World Bank financing for our initiatives. But also management and staff of the CS. It's been a tough period. It's been back to back, having NASAM in October and having GC3B. Most of us are tired, including myself, right? Well, we're fighting on until this program is over. I want to thank you for your resilience, and I want to encourage you to continue as we deliver this program. But permit me, Madam Deputy Minister, to commend the leadership of the Minister responsible for communications and digitalization, Mrs. Serwaa, for the leadership and guidance that she's been giving to our work over the past few years. I believe in one saying, leadership is the cause, everything else is manifestation. If we've been able to achieve some results, that is because we've had a leader who believes in what we're doing. We believe in the leadership of the government for the support that we have received so far, despite the challenges that authority continues to encounter. But I think we've made great strides, including creating excellent international cooperation profile for Ghana's cybersecurity development, leading to Ghana being recognized to host this event. Madam Minister, this session is to explain what the event is to the public. But permit me, I think it's my responsibility as the Director General of the Authority to also highlight what we've been able to do within the past few years, leading to Ghana's recognition to host this event. But again, as a support, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the media for making time to honor our invitation, aimed at shedding light on the upcoming global conference on cyber capacity building, and for their continuing support in providing extensive coverage of our activities. I also wish to express my appreciation to our stakeholders in the cyber security arena, some of whom are here, for joining forces with the CSA to promote a safer digital Ghana for all. Let me also take a moment to acknowledge our international visitors from various parts of the world who have shown their dedication to cybersecurity and the need for capacity development by being present here at this event. I know most of you just landed, but you didn't sleep. You've still joined us here to explain this program to the public. Now, Madam Deputy Minister, again under your permission, let me give a bit of history. Ghana began institutionalizing its cybersecurity development in 2017. I always want to provide a historical context. Of course, before then, specific things were being done in terms of effort to build policy and strategy, but they were being done in ad hoc manner, in silos. So when I say institutionalization, that is a formalization, a deliberate, intentional focus of the country to build the necessary building blocks upon which to develop its cybersecurity. The first act was the establishment of the Cybersecurity Secretariat within the Ministry of Communication at the time, of which I was appointed as an advisor. But in 2018, this Secretariat transitioned into the National Cybersecurity Center, which led our work until Act 1038 was passed, giving effect to the establishment of the Cybersecurity Authority. Under the political direction of the government and the policy direction of the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, under the able leadership of the Honorable Oslo Owusu-Ekufo, a number of initiatives, including the development of partnerships with international institutions, began. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to highlight a few of this engagement, which has projected Ghana as the center of global cyber capacity building effort, especially in the global south. Ghana signed the African Union Convention on Personal Data Protection and Cybersecurity, also known as the Malabo Convention. And the treaty was later ratified by the 7th Parliament in 2019. Ghana has since been involved in AU activities aimed at building cyber capacity on the African continent. The treaty wasn't just a document signed by government. One of the articles mandates states on the continent to establish cybersecurity authorities. We were guided by that in establishing the authority. It set up a number of guidelines. And I have a view, those people who say the convention is just a paper, is not true. At least its minimum relevance is to provide guidance to states. And I think we have been guided. And we're grateful to the African Union for leading that continental initiative to provide us with guidance. In 2018, Ghana also acceded to the Convention on Cybercrime, also known as the Budapest Convention. And ever since our ratification, Madam Minister, and in our collaboration with the Council of Europe, we have been contributing to capacity building against cybercrime, not just at the domestic level, but also worldwide, as our local experts are involved in training of judges, prosecutors, and investigators in other countries. We have produced expertise throughout this process who are also delivering training, capacity building support elsewhere, especially on the African continent. Since 2016, Ghana has been working closely with UNICEF to strengthen response mechanisms and capacity building initiatives to ensure digital safety of children. And in 2023 alone, that's from January to October, a total of more than 80,000 children have been sensitized on the risks faced by children when using the internet. These were face-to-face interactions. Of course, what has been done on social media and also using traditional media is different from what the officers within the Child Online Protection Division of the Authority, working with the team, have been able to achieve. Ghana joined the Global Forum on Cyber Expertise in 2021 and has been serving on a number of working groups, research committees, and the African Cyber Expert Community within the GFCE to support global capacity building initiatives. I think we hosted this event because we are a member of the GFCE. Chris, tell me that is true. If we were not a member, you wouldn't have considered Ghana, right? I think when you take over from me, then you respond to the public. Since 2019, Ghana has been working with the World Economic Forum on a number of cybersecurity capacity building initiatives, including a program-that partnership against cybercrime. Ghana is also among few countries forming the Global Cyber Chiefs Council established by the World Economic Forum in 2022. Currently, Ghana is the only country with an official undertaking cybersecurity fellowship with the World Economic Forum. The CSA officer in question, I understand, is doing excellent. Not only learning from how the World Economic Forum operates their practices, which we need to incorporate into our domestic activities, but the person is also contributing to the work streams of the World Economic Forum. Since 2018, the World Bank has been an important partner for Ghana's cybersecurity journey, providing funding for the formative building blocks we have put in place, including the support for the recruitment of experts and consultants who have been supporting the work of the authority. Madam Minister, during the conference, Ghana will showcase its success, the results achieved working closely with the World Bank over the past 5 years. We are grateful again to the e-Transform units of the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization for facilitating our engagement with the bank. We're grateful. So, William, Ghana is currently the Vice Chair of the ITU Study Group on Security, Group 17, and this role, which is being coordinated by an official working with the National Communication Authority, Ghana is contributing to the technical standardization within the cybersecurity ecosystem. Ghana has been a member of the Freedom Online Coalition since its founding in 2019. For the past 6 years, Ghana has been active in its engagement with the FOC, and some of the initiatives we have work on includes being the chair of the Task Force on Digital Equality since 2021, with the aim of implementing the call to action outlined in a joint statement on digital inclusion launched during the 8th Annual Freedom Online Conference in 2020. Our work in this area is to promote the human rights-centric approach to cybersecurity, and it is not surprising that Ghana's Cybersecurity Act, Act 1028, which was passed in 2020, is considered by the international community as a human rights-centric legislation. We've been able to achieve a balance of dealing with the threat that we face now and in the future, at the same time ensuring that the privacy, the digital right of citizens are not undermined. Ghana has been participating actively. Actively means we've been supported in terms of providing input into the ongoing processes at the UN. There are two main activities: the United Nations Open-Ended Working Group and the United Nations Ad Hoc Committee activities. These are international efforts to provide framework to deal with cybercrime, a UN-level convention on cybercrime, and we are pleased to be contributing to these processes based on the experiences we have gathered over the years. At a continental level, Ghana is providing leadership in a number of areas, including our regulatory approach towards the protection of critical information infrastructure, our approach in licensing of cybersecurity service providers, and accreditation of cybersecurity professionals. Ghana is the first country on the continent to have started this process, and is the second only in the world, apart from Singapore, to have undertaken this initiative. This development has served as learning experiences for other countries. We can put this into question. I wish we can ask any African country, how many cybersecurity professionals do you have as a country? Ghana has developed a mechanism to have achieved that. The last information I have, Ghana has a total of 948 cybersecurity professionals categorized into 3 different levels: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. At a minimum, what we've achieved, we're still implementing the process, is to have visibility in this particular area. The GC3B conference, ladies and gentlemen, is a capacity building conference. If you don't have visibility on your numbers, how do you even build your what? Capacity. We have taken a very important step in terms of creating that visibility. And the conference outcomes is likely to further consolidate what we're doing to ensure that we lead in this particular area and provide support and learning experiences to our colleagues in the sub-region. Please indulge me to celebrate the success story a little bit. Ghana's successful organization of the global event, G7 ECOWAS meeting, the ACE community kickoff meeting, which was held in Accra here, but also the Freedom Online Coalition Conference, were all successfully held in Accra in 2022. And I do believe that provided some sort of attraction. So Mokta, you were here. I think you were a little bit impressed, and that is why you made a case for this thing to be brought to Ghana. We hope to exceed your expectation comparatively to what was held earlier. Additionally, our improved ranking and scoring on the International Telecommunications Union's Global Cybersecurity Index from 32.6% in 2017 to 86.69 in 2020 makes the country a cybersecurity leader in the region, and that is attracting the global recognition. It is above international cooperation activities, ladies and gentlemen, has contributed to Ghana's significant jump in the ranking, and CSA will continue to pursue and sustain such international cooperation efforts under the policy direction of our supervising ministry, the Ministry of Communications and Digitization, under the strategic guidance of the Board of Directors of the authority, but also important guidance from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, which has been a supportive partner in this process. It is evident, ladies and gentlemen, that in arriving at this milestone, Ghana has achieved a lot from international partnership in developing its capacity. We have not only benefited, though, from this partnership, but we have also contributed, and we're supporting other countries through our experiences also to develop. at least the level that we've been able to achieve. Many countries have adopted our cybersecurity legislation as a model law for their various jurisdictions. We have more than 10 countries on the continent who have visited us to learn from our experiences through established partnerships like the MOUs, and also to learn from our experiences. These are testament to our net contribution to global cybersecurity development. Aim of the conference, which I do believe Chris will do a better job, but let me just give a glance of that, and then he takes over later on to throw more light on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the evolving nature of digital era has brought about many opportunities that most of us are aware of. It goes without saying, however, that these have been accompanied by several threats that put citizens, businesses, children, and government at risk. To address the growing threat of cyber attacks and cyber crime, cyber capacity building has become of great priority for several countries around the world. However, to implement effective policies and strategies to counter this issue, an enhanced understanding of the value of cybersecurity is required, hence increasing need for cyber capacity building. Recognizing this gap, the Cyber Peace Institute, the Global Forum on Cyber Expertise, the World Bank, and the World Economic Forum, in collaboration with the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization through the Cybersecurity Authority, is organizing this global conference. The first of its kind, this event aims at gathering of leaders, not just technical, but the business leaders, decision makers, experts across borders and sectors working towards effective, sustainable, and inclusive stewardship of international cooperation, all in the name of cyber capacity building in the era of rampant cyber attacks. This two-day event scheduled for November 29th to 30th at Kempinski Hotel is under the theme Cyber Resilience for Development. I think, Chris, that was the most important thing when you first introduced this to us. The developmental theme of the conference is quite key. In other words, this event is not a technical discussion. It's not a garden of Caesars, like my good friend here, Steve. It is developmental in nature, and I think this is what attracts to Ghana. When we've seen digitalization across all areas, in government, in the private sector, and I think my experiences on the continent, the cyber development is more of a developmental imperative for the African continent. We haven't gone to the imperative of warfare, but I think African countries are pretty developing their economies. And I think for us, I see the developmental imperative. And I think that is why the team is really great for us as a country. Of course, this is linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as well. So I think it was really pretty an important area for us as a discourse, and we're happy to cooperate and have a discussion. Section 83 of our law, the Cybersecurity Act, outlined the need for international cooperation as part of Ghana's cybersecurity development. To this end, Ghana, through the CSA, has explored potential areas for cooperation in this regard. Not just the multilateral, the groupings like this, but also bilateral. And I'm happy to have my colleague from the Kingdom of Morocco, General Rabi, who is here. Few other heads of cybersecurity institutions are arriving in the country through the Smart Africa Initiative. And we also hope, apart from the multilateral side, have bilateral discussion and see what we can learn from each other to move forward. The country is currently a member of the GFCE, and as I mentioned earlier, we've established a number of partnerships with our co-organizers. Through this engagement, Ghana has interacted with a number of professionals as well, and I think these are the qualities that brought some of these discussions together, and we're happy that through this interaction, whether it's international conferences or training programs, you find Ghana the best place to have the first event as we launch this program. So during the next few days, we will be hosting about 800 delegates from over 100 countries across the world. The conference will feature insightful sessions from the World Bank, Council of Europe, World Economic Forum, and other partners who are leading various sessions and pillars. I do believe the GC3B conference will bring together a combination of high-level decision makers, practitioners from government, international organizations, the private sector, civil society, academia, and many players who will contribute to Ghana's cybersecurity development. Permit me lastly, Madam Minister, to outline a number of benefits, but I would like to focus on an important development during the conference. The conference will produce a certain document called the Accra Call. I think we've been hearing, even in my submission, I mentioned Malabo Convention, I mentioned Budapest Convention, and I think we're grateful to the organizers for helping us to sell our beautiful Accra. Are you not clapping? Is it not good? Frankly, I'm now telling you, maybe I'm revealing the secret to you, Chris. I think that was one of the selling points for me to sell to my government when you approach us in terms of the Accra Call. I think Ghana believes in international cooperation to deal with the threat, and we've been mentioning, and we've been a serious participant and advocate for those areas. And I think it is good to also have Accra Core becoming the history of the global cybersecurity development. So an important legacy of this conference is the launch of the Accra Core. The Accra Core for Cyber Resilient Development, that's the full name. The Accra Core for Cyber Resilient Development is the outcome document of the GC3B, which aims to stimulate global action to elevate cyber resilience across international and national development agendas, promote cyber capacity building that support broader development goals, effectively serving the needs and priorities of developing countries in particular, and draw from the existing shared commitment and ongoing relevant efforts in international cooperation activities. The actions set out in the document will strengthen the role of cyber resilience as enabler for sustainable development, advance demand-driven, effective and sustainable cyber capacity, foster stronger partnership, and better coordination as far as cyber-related challenges globally is concerned. This document, which countries and global institutions are being called to endorse, will serve as an important reference point for the global cybersecurity development. After the conference, Ghana is expected to play an active role to facilitate and support global action on implementation. Chris, my government believes in implementation, so it should not just be the outdoor of the core. I think we will support that, and I would like to call on my own government, the government of the Republic of Ghana, the parliament, industry, civil society, international partners, and most importantly, the media, to help promote the Accra Call for cyber resilience. As I bring my remarks to a close, I urge all stakeholders to participate fully in this event. You do not need to join in physically, but I think there is always a way to involve as we promote cybersecurity around this program. The media is encouraged to support this agenda. The CSA looks up to you, the media, to educate your listeners and viewers about the success story of this country. It does not mean we've ended. It does not mean Ghana is immune to what? Cyber threats. It means that Ghana is taking its cybersecurity serious. That's all that it means. It means that Ghana recognizes that to deal with the cyber threat, we need to collaborate internationally. Permit me, therefore, to express my gratitude once again to all of you gathered here, Madam Minister, for the leadership within the Information Ministry and the support you've given to us, the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization for the guidance and the supervision of our work, and my team members at the CSA. Again, I said, back to back, I know, but we've got a few more days to cross over. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, a better round of applause for Peter Nkubuesi. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. I believe he has shown that Ghana did not get to host this conference by chance. So much work has been done behind the scenes together with our international partners and government as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I believe the conference guests, especially those who are coming to Ghana for the first time, will soon become our ambassadors, not just within the cybersecurity space, but also in our socio-economic context. So thank you so much. On that note, permit me to acknowledge our media partner covering this engagement live on TV, GTV, Station of the Nation. Thank you so much for the coverage. We also have with us this morning the Director of Ghana Post at Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, Mr. Suleiman Kwame Luje. If you are here, we acknowledge you. Okay. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will yield to the President of Global Forum on Cyber Expertise, Mr. Christopher Painter, for his remarks.
Thank you, and it's really great to be here. And I'd also say I can't express how happy I am to be back in Accra, back in Ghana. I've been here a couple times before, unfortunately not for a little while, but the very first time I came was back in 2011. And the occasion for that was I was then working at the U.S. State Department. I was the first cyber diplomat in the world, which didn't mean I was a cyber. I was a real person, but I was doing cyber stuff. And one of our early initiatives, one of the core things we thought was so important was this area of capacity building. And it was so important that we engaged around the world, but really one of the first places we came was here to Accra to have an ECOWAS meeting on cybersecurity capacity building, have those discussions. And 2011 wasn't that long ago, but actually in the history of this, it is pretty long ago. My office, when I was in the State Department, started in 2011, so as I said, it was one of the very early things. And we've seen this whole area mature since then. And I think, as we all know, and as all you know keenly, the digital world touches every aspect of our lives. It enables us to connect, to work, to learn, and to travel, and it plays an important role in safeguarding life essentials such as food, water, and healthcare and financial systems, things we often call critical infrastructures because they're so critical to our populace, to our people, to our ways of life that we depend on them, but more and more of those are being controlled by digital means. All of us, as we look at this, we see tremendous opportunity, and we should see tremendous opportunity. We shouldn't just focus on the negative. We should also focus on the positive. What are we trying to achieve? And indeed, when I think about cybersecurity, cybersecurity is not an end to itself. It is an enabler for all the good things we're trying to achieve. I always think about this as foundational. Foundational, obviously, to fighting all the bad things that are on the internet, all the threats we see and the growing threats of all kinds of actors, and I've seen those, and I've been doing cyber now for 33 years, so a long time. So I've seen that ramp up and get more serious as we get more dependent. But also really think about it is the foundation for all the good things we're trying to achieve, all the connecting our citizens, all of the abilities to run our infrastructure in a more efficient ways, way to save energy, way to have sustainable development and climate control. All the things that we want to achieve, all those good things, are dependent on having good security and, more importantly, in this digital age, good cybersecurity. And, of course, we need to be aware with those opportunities what the risks are. And it's important to be aware of the digital risks and be aware of them, and that all of us really have a role in this. Governments, businesses, academia, society at large, all of us to ensure a free and open, secure digital world. And every country should have the resources, knowledge, and skills they need to invest in their digital future, including their cybersecurity. And unfortunately, that's not true right now. There are many countries that don't around the world. Even very developed countries are still struggling with some of these issues, but countries really all over the world, in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, really everywhere, are struggling with this. So for us to have an effective response, nations need to work together to support each other with these capabilities, help each other, and this is really what capacity building is, so that no country is left behind, because it's an old adage, but it's really true, that the weakest link makes a chain weak. Because I know this from when I was a prosecutor years ago doing cyber crime cases back in the early days. If you're a smart cyber criminal, even if you're next door, you're going to route your attacks through other countries to try to take advantage of weaknesses in their systems, to also try to evade detection. So we are really a global environment. We're a global community, and we need to work together to help all of us, because it makes all of us stronger. Now, let me say a couple words before I launch into the conference, and I want to thank Dr. Albert for doing such a great job and talking about this, and I'll comment a little bit more on Ghana too, and I agree with everything you said on that. But the GFC, the Global Forum on Cyber Expertise, which we're very proud to have Ghana as a member of, is an organization that was started back in 2015, so not that long ago, at a global conference for cyberspace that was held in The Hague. Which brought together people from all over the world then. And its goal was really to promote, coordinate, and better give priority to these cybersecurity capacity building efforts, to be an information sharing platform, to be a coordination platform. We can't afford, the resources that we have for this are still relatively small, to have those resources wasted because there's not coordination between the recipients, the donors, the implementers, all of those communities to come together along a whole wide range of issues, everything from things like national strategies, which are a core building block of your cyber activity, to having agencies like you have here in Ghana, to having computer emergency response teams, so like the ambulances or the hospitals on the internet in a sense, to having awareness and education and training, which is critically important because the workforce simply is not there for this. There's far more jobs than there are people to fill them, and we need to train people up around the world, to cybercrime issues. So all of these issues are critically, and even cyber diplomacy, training a new group of cyber diplomats who are able to deal with these issues, because they're increasingly being debated in every UN forum around the world. You mentioned the ITU. Every forum you can think of, African Union certainly, these are becoming issues. So it's important to have all those things in place. And that's what the GFC was stood up to do as a true multi-stakeholder organization. Governments, like Ghana, like many other governments, now about 60 governments, civil society, academia, and industry all working together. And that multi-stakeholder approach makes us stronger, because each of us have a piece of this, each of us understand different parts of this. And the GFC has really thrived over the last few years. Even with the challenges of the pandemic, we are now over 200 members and partners of all those categories. We're working on regional hubs. We've done quite a bit in Africa, creating an Africa Cyber Experts Group and launching more initiatives in Africa. We've done this also in the Pacific Islands and other places. That's important because it's a global issue, but it's also a local issue and a regional issue. So now on to the conference. As Albert said, on the 29th and 30th of November, the inaugural, this is really a first of its kind. Yes, there are lots of cyber conferences around the world. Yes, you can see, I used to say there's so many cyber summits, it seems like you're in the cyber Alps or the cyber, whatever mountain range you want to talk about. But this is unique. This is really the first of its kind, dedicated not just to capacity building, but bringing different communities together at a high level. And as was said, not just the cybersecurity capacity building community, which is a really important community, which is what the GFC has helped put together, but also the traditional development community, the people who do water, the people who do power, the people like the World Bank and USAID and development agencies all over the world. It's critically important for these two groups that sometimes don't talk too well together because they don't really mix that much, to understand each other. Because if you think about cyber, as I said, it's a platform. It is the foundation for development too. Everything's being controlled by cyber. So if you're going to put in a water system, you're going to put in a power system, you're going to put dams in, you're going to do a financial system, you need to have good cybersecurity. And bringing those two communities together increases our resources, increases our resolve, and allows us to work more effectively together. And so the conference is really organized to raise awareness of the importance that every nation has and the expertise, knowledge, and skills to invest in their digital future, and to encourage countries to work together on developing these capabilities to ensure that open, free digital world that we all want, and secure digital world. We're trying to mainstream cyber resilience, and the theme, as was noted, is resilience. Why did we pick resilience? Because when you say security, people think, oh, that's a security thing. That's not my job. You know, security, that's other people's job. That's the government's job. They'll do that. But when you talk about resilience and development, that's really what we're trying to get at. We're trying to bridge that gap, even in language, between different communities to make sure that we're seeing this as one concerted thing that lifts us all up. We're bringing together high-level leaders, experts on cybersecurity and capacity building, and international development community around the world here in Accra. Attending the conference offers them the opportunity to work on common goals and solutions. And in addition, the GC3B, which is what we call the Global Conference on Cyber Capacity Building, GC3B just rolls off your tongue, right? So good term. Will address the international need to increase resources for cyber capacity building. As I said, they're not enough. We really need to increase those resources, which, as I said, is a key enabler for sustainable development, economic growth, and social progress. As a highlight of the GC3B, we plan to launch the Accra Call. It's a global framework for concrete action. It's not just a document. You know, I always worry that you come up with a declaration or a document, it becomes what we call shelfware. You put it on a shelf, you did it, and no one ever pays attention to it again. That's not what this is. This is an action-oriented framework where all the different participants can volunteer to take on and make sure they're moving us forward, because we can't afford just to stay still. So it really means to move us forward, just like Ghana has done in this country. So that's really important, what's happening in the government here. As was mentioned, it's co-organized by us, the GFC, but also the World Bank, major development agency, the Cyber Peace Institute, which has been dealing with a lot of human rights online, and the World Bank, as I mentioned, the World Economic Forum. So that brings the business community in. So all of those people, and as I said, and I'm so grateful for this, is being hosted by our host here, the government of Ghana. And just to kind of foot stomp, as they say, what you were saying about why Ghana was so important. Indeed, it has been a leader in the region for many years on these things. It is obviously a major commercial hub in Africa. It is a fast-growing city. It's grown since I've been here last, certainly. In cybersecurity is a central pillar of Ghana's digital strategy, promoting a smart economy through ICT, and so that's really key too, and again shows leadership. There's been a number of projects that have been spearheaded here, like the Girls in ICT, which is empowering women in ICT, which is a critically important thing we need to do. And it's been a leading example of economic digitization. And I think, again, that's what we're trying to achieve, and that's what cybersecurity helps. I mentioned also, I was also mentioning the Freedom Online Coalition. I helped found that. I remember that back a while ago. And it's really happy to see that that's thrived, and Ghana has been a key member for a long time there. And obviously, I think you're right. If you weren't a member, we probably wouldn't have had it here, so it's important that you're a member. But it was never a question if you become a member. You wanted to become a member. We welcomed you, and you've been very active in all of our working groups, so we really appreciate that. The last thing I'll just hit on briefly is the Accra Call. And as I said, that's supposed to be a flexible framework that's supposed to really help motivate and catalyze actions from a number of different areas. And it has again, it's voluntary. The people who endorse it, it's voluntary for them to take these actions forward. We'll keep track of how the actions are going so we can keep track of the progress they're making. Again, we don't want this to be a static document. And it's really organized around 4 pillars. Strengthening the role of cyber resilience as an enabler for sustainable development, what I was talking about earlier. Advancing demand-driven, effective, and sustainable cyber capacity building. So, one of the things we found is demand-driven is really important. A lot of times countries are like, oh, we'll give you a program. We'll give you this program. And that country doesn't need that program. Or they've gotten that program 7 times already. That doesn't help them. So you need to have something where you're asking the people, what is it you need? How can we build this? And if you do that, it becomes more sustainable. It's not like you have a one-off event, you go away, and 5 years later nothing's happened. You have a growth period. You have a sustainability period. So sustainability is important, and demand-driven is important. Fostering stronger partnerships and better coordination, that really is why the GFC was stood up, to have that better coordination, to bring partners together. You heard from our Ghana host how important it was, and thank you, Deputy Minister, as well, for partnerships, why that's such a key thing in this area, and it certainly is. And finally, and not surprisingly, I suppose, unlocking greater financial resources for cooperation and implementation, because that really is an important thing. All the things we need to do, we can't do without those resources. So with that, I wanted to close. I also wanted to, again, just express my thanks for having me here. My thanks for you guys coming out today. My thanks to our host, to the Deputy Minister, to CSA, to really everyone involved. And thank you for all the high-level folks who've come, both from the Ghana government and from Morocco, and of course my friend Mokhtar, our special envoy as well. So thank you for everything. Really look forward to the conference. I think it's going to be a great success. And it's not going to be just a conference, it's going to be the launching point for going forward and being even better and stronger than we have been in the past. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Christopher Painter, President, Global Forum on Cyber Expertise. I've learned something interesting today, and Mr. Painter mentioned that when they have conversation about cyber, they are not saying that it is an end in itself. It is a foundation for development, and it includes a foundation for our connectivity and all the important things that we want to achieve individually as countries and collectively. And he also mentioned that that is why it is important to build resilience in that space and also eliminate the threats, because it is a foundation for good. And that's so interesting. So another round of applause for Mr. Painter. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take the Q&A session. If you have any question, this is the best time to ask. Kindly show by hand if you have a question. They will bring the microphone to you. You mention your name and affiliation and proceed to ask your question. If there are any hands. Yes, please. Okay, I've seen a hand at the back.
Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Samani with TV3. So my question goes to Dr. Bosiakom. It has to do with children's safety and security over the internet. So we want to find out what specific measures Ghana has taken to strengthen the response mechanisms and initiatives to ensure child safety in total, because I think it's one part that we haven't really focused on with regards to child safety, because you go online, the content you see on some social media apps and platforms, even Telegram, that we think it's safe. So what is the cybersecurity actually doing to ensure child safety? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. We can take a few more before we invite Dr. Boesiako. Yes.
Thank you. My name is John Awuni Kesben. When Doc was wrapping up, he mentioned measures that have been taken in the area of cyber attacks. When you look at the world in general, you see China, US, Brazil, India ranking very high in terms of cyber attacks. And when you come to Africa, you have countries like Nigeria, South Africa, and then Kenya also in that bracket. I want to know if this global conference will be one of the center stages for cyber attacks discussion, which is currently ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Musa Lansa with GH1 TV. All we heard during the presentations were the conference to build capacity of experts in the cyber security space. What specific topics are we looking at when the conference starts? What specific topics are we looking at? Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions? We can take two more if there are any hands. Okay, but if there are no hands, I take that to be the last question. So I will invite Doc or Mr. Painter. Okay.
Madam Minister, thank you again. I think I'll take the first two, and the last question will be handled by Chris, if you don't mind. Child safety. I like the question, but your premise, we haven't done much. May I see TV3? I don't want to turn this as an interview. But I think, again, you need a external person to assess your work. And I do believe the media is the best body to assess the work the authority has done. I give that right to you. But I want to challenge you a little to do a bit of research as well in terms of what we've done in the area. And my appreciation to UNICEF. Frankly, it's one area we had sustained commitment, to that particular area. I wish I had all the statistics on what has been done. Even though, and I want to admit, it is not enough, considering what? The threat. I think if we situate what we've done within the context of the risks, I can appreciate that. But I have a team that has been extremely committed to this process. Thankfully, we found partnership in UNICEF, which has dedicated resources to that. But permit me to mention a few. The first aspect is the legislative framework. I think the existing legislation at the time, before the coming into effect of the Act 1038, was quite weak. Child pornography as the only provision. But if you take Act 1038, there has been a number of provisions, I think 63, 64 out there. Currently, the law criminalizes extortion, which as a journalist, you know, that's the most rampant form of what? Cyber attack targeting our teenagers. And we have evidence of that provision being used to prosecute people who have caused harm to some of our young people. So that is just the legislative standpoint, and I think that was crucial. To deal with this from the criminal justice standpoint, you need a law. We have done that. You won't find many African countries having that. Again, in context. But I have also mentioned that even, and my colleagues are here, I wish them to admit to that, even the wealthy countries, Chris, you've been a prosecutor of a U.S. government. Now, cybercrime cases, not even the wealthy countries like Chris' country, can successfully investigate, prosecute, and adjudicate more than 10% of cases that are reported. Let's say if you take our national set, almost every attempted attack or successful attack, sometimes tracing becomes almost impossible. Even when you trace, attribution becomes almost impossible. In other words, what I'm saying is, it is extremely difficult to just target investigating and prosecutions. Awareness creation becomes the most important tool to reduce this. And I think the authority, what we are targeting is, if we are able to, and I want to situate the same example to Momo fraud, if we are able to educate the public, educate extensively, that means it has to go beyond Joy FM discussions or Asante, but because Momo is everywhere, isn't it? If we are able to go to every part of the country to raise awareness that some of these schemes are socially engineered, we're likely to prevent 75% of Momo cases. Then you allow law enforcement to handle about 25%, and even you give them a target. Out of the 25%, if they can successfully investigate and prosecute 5% of that, that is a major success. I think we need to understand cybercrime is not like a traditional crime, and therefore the awareness creation is key. In view of that, every year it's become like a ritual. For the past 5 years, we go around the schools. Currently, we're engaging with the PTAs. We've come to you, media, to raise those awareness. So these are some of the interventions that we have taken in this particular area. But I think we've also been providing victim support services also to some of the cases that has come to us. So TV3, I agree with you as far as the risks that our children face with respect to the contact they establish on the internet, their own conduct on the internet, and sometimes the content that they consume on the internet. We ought to do a lot. But I think the authority, looking at its age, looking at its staffing capacity, looking at its resources, we have achieved quite a lot. And thanks to UNICEF for the support. I want to challenge the media again. If you are able to dedicate within a week 30 minutes of your platform, and you say, look, issues of children is not just a government responsibility. And I want us to get it clearly. These are children. And cyber responsibility is something which is entrusted on you, the user of the digital device, right, on the government. The government is only enabler. Enabling intervention means legislation, policy, and making the program available. But it is the individual. I think I'm pushing back to the media. And I'm challenging you. If you are able to make 30 minutes of airtime to the CSA, we will provide expertise to help support and protect our children. Let's accept this collective responsibility, even as far as dealing with the issues are concerned. And we'll be very much happy to hear what else that we need to do from within the CSA to be able to support this process. So I hope it's a fair proposition. TV3, Madam Alma, speak to the gentleman next week. I want to be on your station to speak about child online protection. And I want to put your management to test if you'll be able to give this opportunity just to educate a Ghanaian child. Please, let's do this, and next week get me there. Please, next week start from Monday. I'm going to TV3 to talk about child online protection. Kesbin, I understand. I think you were right in your analysis in terms of the escalating nature of cyber attacks. Of course, you mentioned India. India is a big country. I think cyber criminology is a game of numbers, isn't it? Once you have the population, certainly the number of, the count, the head count will certainly be huge. You mentioned Nigeria as well, it's the same thing. It's a game of numbers. It is true that we recorded a number of attacks. Some of them, unfortunately, again, I raise the question of visibility. Some of them we can't even identify. Visibility becomes what? Problematic. But I understand these are part of the discussions from multiple angles. I understand, for example, the Council of Europe is leading a session from the criminal justice standpoint. The World Bank is also interested to support building resilience, as Chris mentioned. It's still about the attacks. Attacks will happen. How do we build that resiliency in such a way that even if it does happen, we can quickly return to business? Because World Bank is financing digital development initiatives across the continent. So that discussion is also taking place. Across multiple dimensions of the issue, there are discussions. And I do believe we will learn from the conference what we need to do more. And most importantly, the Accra Call is likely to give us a direction on what we need to do going forward. I think for the rest, and the last question, I would like to invite Chris to also share his comment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, first I would say that because the threats are so global, we obviously have to do what we can to apprehend the criminals, etc. But the idea of resilience, the idea of defense, helps prevent against all threats. And we need to be better at cyber hygiene. We need to be better prepared as societies. We need to have strategies to deal with that. That's all important building blocks. On the conference itself, first I'd refer you to the conference website, which is live. It's gc3b.org. So www.gc3b.org. We have, if you go to the program, on it, we have the program laid out. It's a very extensive program. It's organized around 4 pillars. Pillar 1 is making international development cyber resilient. Pillar 2 is collaborating to secure the digital ecosystem. Pillar 3 is cyber capacity building for stability and security. And Pillar 4 is operationalizing solutions. And if you go through that agenda, there's many, many sessions. There's plenary sessions, there's breakout sessions, there's working sessions. Again, the idea of this is not just to be a normal conference. This is to be an operational experience to try to move this whole topic forward and to bring these communities together. So rather than me just read all the different sessions, which would take me about an hour, I think, up here, I think if you can go to that website, that gives you a good sense of what we're trying to achieve. And of course, the proof will be in the pudding, but what happens over the next few days, which we're all looking forward to, and culminating in the Accra call, which we think really will help carry that forward. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Painter and Dr. Nchibwesiako. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are no questions, I will invite Dr. Nchibwesiako back for his concluding remarks.
Honorable Deputy Minister, once again, we're grateful to you and the Minister for Information for creating this platform for us to engage with the media. Our international visitors, Chris and the team, we're thankful to you for having confidence in our dear Republic to experiment this. I think that was a bold step, wasn't it? Coming from The Hague, it's selecting a developing country, Ghana, to initiate this conversation. But I believe that bold step is likely to serve as a launchpad for serious global conversation around this area. We are committed to do our part to ensure this is a success. To the media, you are the very important reason we're here. We need you to carry this message. We need your platforms to educate the population. And I think it is only fair that we say thank you to you. Anytime at all we call you, you make it. But my biggest request is to TV3. Madam Alma, have you firmed up the slot? I'm going on TV3 this week. Where is he? It's done already? That is it. I think that's how relationships are. Thank you. I think it's done, right? That's it. Absolutely. If I do not come, then you can challenge us. But please, I'm only encouraging all of you also to follow the TV3 example. My officers are ready. 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Dedication is going to our families. It's not for government. Some are struggling. In fact, even those who are losing money, Momo, 200 Ghana cedis, 500 Ghana cedis. For ordinary Ghanaian in my home village, 500 Ghana cedis is a monthly living wage. And I think, again, I did mention about government as enabler. The enabling intervention is to call 292, report the incident. This is all what government can do. Report when you suspect that the message that you have received asking you to provide your Momo PIN to somebody else. Hold on. Call 292. You do not pay anything. 24/7. This is an enabling intervention of a state agency like the CSA. But the responsibility here to make the call rests perfectly in the hands of what? The citizen. As media, help us to convey this message. Because the stories we hear once the attack has happened is not the best. And we can only use your platform to be able to achieve that. But I think TV3 deserves a round of applause for showing leadership. Madam Minister, we thank you for the opportunity to engage with the media. And media, thank you for always being on our side. Grateful. Right.
On behalf of the Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, management and staff of our ministry, I would like to say a very big thank you to our guests for using this very important platform, and to the press for making time to cover today's media launch. We will encourage you to send the story out there and keep the conversations moving as we wait for the actual event, which is taking place at Kempinski Hotel on 29th and 30th November 2023. If you are unable to register and join in person, you can join the program on our various platforms, including streams on Facebook at Ministry of Information, at Cyber Security Authority, and at Ministry of Communication and Digitalization. The opening and closing events on 29th and 30th of November will also be live on various TV platforms across the country. So make time to join the programs and the conversation. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Gwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Ramin the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer in 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Luckiest. Star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
McBerry Twist Cupcakes. Simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekwobi ayefre omose eye global info analytics omuchirema. Omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma. Omokoye no po e no mokokoye ekohwe se hwan ena se ebia enedue ni eto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan ena chese beto aba e de amomo na omuchirema post no mokoye ne kokowiem na chese e ade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro eye Bawumia ye ankasankaza utumu se na enye asamketo akra na omuchirema omuye eye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu eye 73.1%. Saranso ena eye Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya eye 21.2%. Omo akeka kanso de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni ntu no eye info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye ana azonko community sa. Omo koye no ebitese Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, ena afi Asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka ye to aba enedua ya danka sa community si ombeto aba e de ama eye former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just a Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi adon wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa de afi afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no. Obeba mo homodi aye investigations awodo na enya tese mo dia fa ho ne yehu ne ekoso wo Ghana hanom. Esansansa mo ho no mabete ne asase we na we aton ene fine ne kosi se na denden. Eno nti ena Office of the Special Prosecutor chema. Omankasa ba beye hwehwemu de afasa nsase na ya tonton nyente guso ehwe. Ene nhwehwemu bia mba bia omba beto dwa bia GhanaWeb. Ebebo homodi ne de atodwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan de ama ne ho. Orakisi ben special prosecutor ewo Ghana hanum. No din semfo bi atodwa a ochemu sisi ade se ne court. Si di ne dwuma sifa no enche bia ebehu ane se ne obi okunkum nipa medra. Enso ben nante e de akwakopiom we court honum ade akokọ san o di injunction to dwumadi bi so nampo bibi so. Esanso ochema nanse court no emma Office of the Special Prosecutor. Just omo ho kwan kra mo ntumi ndu omo dwuma kra nanse ntemu sei. Omo nkasa de betu dwa se ade omo hwehwe obi na se omo declare nipa no wanted. Why court we be some say adentina mu declare sa nipa we wanted na eno kra na esi na fani se no twem se esa na mu tietie omo na ntia esa na no dwuma no entumi enkoso eno tumu tietie aye Office of the Special Prosecutor mu dwuma die so sa na mo pa twese eno nti ena enche bia mu behu se because na waye no obi abetumi aba be kasa de we mpese be koso eno nti mo mfa mo nsanto so na mo nka bibia famfa ho eno nti na benam so e mo bi okunkum nipa so beba na se na ye de na semba court akasa an da bida asem we de musumo de monsa etoso Mrashebedwani edema omanfo a omo ningo prampram Sam Nate George echirema ekomia kwa sisi ade dom kese ba no dani say chairman sabunsu ne space no use no ase atochima enu nte wo se ne mani omo hwe na chese ye ma no space foforo o chirema enrada anampu no aba betodwa say chairman sabunsu echirema Ono Sam George kan ho ene minority no nkofo bi kan ho na tetesisi a budget ho nkita ho peso mudi o machebedwum entumi enkoso kra na Sam George echem se papai na wo pache ono Sam George no dwumedie bi ebedi bia oba hono bi enra dey kra no anopanyina not Asante ba ne sen na fede wo kasa ono Sam George ne omo keka wo kan ho eno nti no muntumi endi dwuma wo machebedwum eno nti no chirema Sam George chirema wo se menim ye hwe na wo sai chirema sabonso ne no o hye no e wo se yesesa esanzo tumu se dro na ewom no asa
I want you so bad, alpha cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, alpha cracker. I want you so bad, alpha cracker.
Don't me call one casa.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Brahmin the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makwala, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer in 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. Luckiest star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekuo bi a yefre omose eye global info analytics omuchirema omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma omokọ ye nupo e no mokọkọ ye ekohwe ese hwan ena sa ebia enedue ni eto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan ena chese beto aba edi amomo na omuchema post no mkoye ne kokko wiem na chese eyade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro Bawumia ye ankasankaza otumu se na enye asamketo akra na omuchema omuye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu 73.1%. Sara so ena Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya 21.2%. Omo akeke kan so de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni nto no info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye anazonko community sa. Omo koye no ebite se Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, ena afi asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka ye to aba enedua danka sa community si ombeto aba edi ama former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi adon wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa e de free afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no obebom homodi aye investigations awodo na enya tese omodi afa ho ne yehu nia ekoso wo Ghana hanom esasan nsam wo ho no mabete ni asase we na we aton ena fine ne kosi se na denden eno nti ena your Office of the Special Prosecutor chema omankasa ba ba ehwehwemu e de afasa nsase na ya tonton ni ntewu so ehwe ene nhwehwemu bia mba bia omba ba tudwa bia GhanaWeb ebebo homodi ne de atudwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan e de ama ne ho. Orakisi ben special prosecutor ewo Ghana hanom. No din semfo bi atodwa a ochemu sisi ade se ne court. Si di ne dwuma sifa no enche bia ebehu ane se ne obi okunkum nipa medra. Enso ben nante ade akwakopiom we court honum ade akokosa an odi injunction to dwumadie bi so nampo bibi so. Esan so ochema nanse court no emma Office of the Special Prosecutor. Just mo ho kwan kra mo ntumi ndi omudwuma kra nanse ntemu sei. Omankasa de betu just say ade omo hwehwe obi na se omo declare nipa no wanted. Why court we be so mo say adentina mo declare sa nipa we wanted na eno kra na esi na fani say no twemu say eta na mutietie omo na ntia eta na mo dwuma no entumi enkoso eno ntumi tietia ya Office of the Special Prosecutor mo dwumadie so sa na mo pa twese eno nti ena enche bia mo behu say because na maye no obi abetumi aba beka sa de we mempese bekoso eno nti mo mfa mo nsanto so na mo nka bibia fanfa ho eno nti na benam so emo bi okunkum nipa so beba na tena ye de na semba court akasa an da bida asem we de wo mo de monsa etoso Mashebejani edema omanfo a omo ningo prampram Sam Nate George echirema ekomia kwa sisi ade dom kese ba no dani se chairman sabunsu ne space no use no ase atochima enu nte wo se ne mani omo hwe na chese ye ma no space foforo o chirema enrada anampu no aba betodwa se chairman sabunsu echirema Ono Sam George kan wo ene minority no nkofo bi kan wo na tete sisi budget won kita won person mudi o ma shebedwum entumi enkoso kra na Sam George echem se pape na wo pache ono Sam George no dwumedie bi ebedi bia oba hono bi enra dey kra no anopanyina not Asante ba ne sen na fede wo kasa ono Sam George ne omo keka wo kan wo eno nti no muntumi endi dwuma wo ma shebedwum eno nti no chirema Sam George chirema wo send menim ye hwe na wo sai chirema sabonso ne space no o hye no e wo se yesesa esan so tumu se dro na ewom no asa
I want you so bad, I'll fuck cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, alpha cracker. I want you so bad, alpha cracker.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Idea Products Nadia Makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. There's Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. The proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. Luckiest star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Papa, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekwobi ayefro omose eye global info analytics omuchirema omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma omokoye no po e no mokokoye ekohwe se hwan e na se ebia enedue ni eto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan e na chese beto aba e de amomo na omuchirema post no mokoye ne kokowiem na chese e ade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro eye Bawumia ye ankasankaza otumu se na enye asamketo akra na omuchirema omuye eye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu eye 73.1%. Saranso ena eye Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya eye 21.2%. Omo akeke kanso de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni nto no eye info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye anazonko community sa. Omo koye no ebite se Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, ena afi asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka ye to aba enedua danka sa community si ombeto aba ede ama eye former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just a Kisi Ajebeno, Muchima. Sisi Ado Wankasa Eba Beye in Shushemupa, Eddie Free, Afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina no fitisa afi 1993 no obeba mohomodi aye investigations awodo na enya tese omodi afa ho ne yehu ne ekoso wo Ghana anom esasana nsam wo ho no mabete ne asase we na we aton ena fa ne kosi se na denden eno nti ena your office of the special prosecutor chema omankasa ba ba ehwehwemu e de afa sansase na ya tonton ne ntegu so ehwe ene nhwehwemu bia mba bia omba ba tudwa bia GhanaWeb ebebo mohomodi ne de atudwa na obi anso enya bi akenkan e de ama ne ho. Oraki si eye ben eye special prosecutor ewo eye Ghana hanom no di nsemfo bi atodwa a o chemu se sisi ade se ne court si di ne dwuma si fa no enche bia ebe hu an
I want you so bad, I'll fuck like I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, alpha cracker. I want you so bad, alpha cracker. I don't me call one casa.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Idea Products Nadia Makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Bramientra the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Luckiest, star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Ekuo bi a yefre omose eye global info analytics omuchirema omankasa etu anamo e de akokokoko eye zongo sahodo be se nson e wo Ghana hanoma omokọ ye nupo e no mokọkọ ye ekohwe ese hwan ena sa ebia enedue ne yeto aba ya afi 2024 between John Dramani Mahama and afi Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hwan ena chese beto aba edi amomo na omu chema post no mkoye ne kokko wiem na chese eyade a na chese former President John Dramani Mahama chese wa bro Bawumia ye ankasankaza utumu se na enye asemketo akra na omu chema omu ye post ni wie no na chese hwehwemu ni wie no na chese Mahama enyemu 73.1%. Saranso ena Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enso enya 21.2%. Omo akeka kanso de enya 00.1 no mo nkeka. Eni nto no info analysis for ichirema. Omo post omo ye ni chirema sanka ya abato ena omo koye anazonko community sa. Omo koye no ebite se Madina, Ashaiman, Ablekuma Central, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, ena afi Asanwasi wemu ichirema sanka ya to aba enedua ya danka sa community si ombeto aba edi ama former President John Dramani Mahama. Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by not just Kisi Ajebeno Muchirema. Sisi ado wankasa ba beye nhwehwemu pa de afi afi 1993. Ghana nsase bia ya tonton bia fitisa afi ni nyina.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Quaniton, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Bramian the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty are.
Opinion, ruling, decision, and all those things have been resolved in the new standing orders that will come before you. And so it will stop all this. But the practice before I became speaker, and even during the course of my speakership, is that when you are to take a voice vote, listening to the voices from both sides of the house, sometimes it's difficult to decide firmly that either the eyes have it or the nose have it. And so there is an opportunity granted in the standing orders for the speaker to express an opinion. And usually it is said, I think the nose have it, or I think the eyes have it. The practice is that is give opportunity if somebody is doubtful of the thinking of the speaker to raise a challenge. That is the practice throughout. And that was what happened yesterday, and the challenge was raised. And so the next process was for us to do a head count. We have gone through this a number of times, and so that was what happened yesterday. It is during the course of the head count that we encountered a challenge. And some members of the majority side walked out. Some members were still present. But there was a lot of meetings, and some were standing and talking. And therefore there was disorder.
And by our rules, when there's a disorder, the only thing open to the speaker
is to suspend sitting. And that was what I did yesterday. Then after that, we resumed. And when we resumed, the House was still not in order. And so the best thing is to adjourn, which I did. So I followed meticulously the rules of the House. For members and observers to go out and misinform the public, and for them to run at Parliament and the Speaker, that one, I leave it to them and their gods. So, for me, I'll do what I believe is right to the best of my knowledge and ability. And so next week, we'll try and do everything. But we have a saying, and I'm sure you all know this saying. Oh, you don't want to hear my saying? Yes, Deputy Minority Leader, you don't want to hear Minority Whip?
Speaker, when you finish.
We say that the mouth of the old man smells. But what comes out from that mouth doesn't smell. It's wisdom. This one is food for thought. So please, with all due reference to ABA Fuseni Honorable. Oh, you are here. He is our professor. Yes. So please, may I hear you now?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you made this clarity yesterday. And the public has been misinformed that the budget was approved. So it's good you have stated that there was no decision. And you have directed that the business committee should reschedule the budget statement and economic policy for a decision to be taken next week. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, I have been here 4 terms now. Mr. Speaker, you've trained me. I had the opportunity to learn under you. And Mr. Speaker, our rules are not that ambiguous. And when you quoted Order 113 Rule 2 and stated that you put the question first, you were not clear, you put it the second time, you were still in doubt. You said, I think the eyes have it. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is a man of grammar. I think the eyes have it. This morning, my daughter, who had just completed Wesley Girls, told me, Daddy, I think the eyes have it means that you are not sure. She had just completed Wesley Girls. Yes, my daughter, she's in my office right now. And Mr. Speaker, this is a statement of fact. Daddy, I think the eyes have it means that you are not sure. And Mr. Speaker, it's for very good reasons that speakers upon speakers have been putting the question that way. I think the eyes have it. That's your opinion. Then you check. If nobody is on his feet, you go ahead. The eyes have it. That's declaration and that's ruling. The Speaker, even sometimes some speakers go ahead and put the gavel 1 to the eyes have it. The budget statement and economic policy is hereby approved. We didn't see that yesterday. Members, some senior members have been here 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. They were still confused. But how can you be confused by this? It has happened and happened and happened. There was no declaration of results. We were in the process. So even if you go to today's order paper, the table office has programmed the budget statement economic policy for 2024 for a decision to be taken today. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, it's motion number 10. Unfortunately, my colleagues on the other side are not here. They are playing a football game with no goalkeeper no defenders, no wins, only 3 attacks, normal 7, 8, 9, 8, 10. Just because for the second time they've run away. I think as members of the leadership, the Speaker, we must take the rules of procedure serious. And the Speaker, some lawyers are sometimes misled. The Parliament is a house of rules and procedure. It's technically different from court rules. When you go to court and there's ruling and you appeal the ruling, it means the first decision stands until the ruling appeal is heard. That is different from Parliament. Mr. Speaker, when you went ahead and quoted Order 98, that my opinion had been challenged in Order 113 Rule 2. If I had gone ahead to rule and you wanted to challenge my ruling, that way you would have come with Order 98, because the ruling of the chair is not subject to debate except upon by substantive motion. You stated all these things here, and I found it very difficult to believe that people were so confused. So, Mr. Speaker, what the table office has done is the right thing. Even some lawyers and members outside are finding problems in accepting what happened. But Mr. Speaker, where we are, Ghana is not standing well. There are critical decisions that people are looking up to us. And if you look at the numbers here, we in NDC believe that the people of Ghana are looking up to Parliament to take a decision and to give direction upon where Ghana should go for addressing our economic issues. And Speaker, we accept that we are in opposition. Look at the numbers here. Where are they? The people of Ghana has given you majority, and you are turning into minority in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, governance is not for joke. If you want to rule, you must be serious. People's destiny is in your hands. You can't take it for granted. And it's not a matter of technicalities. It's a matter of rules and procedure. And Mr. Speaker, this is the book of rules and procedure. Everything is clear here. So, Mr. Speaker, we came today to take a decision on the budget. Today too, they've run away. Take a decision. Mr. Speaker, looking at the numbers here, even though you have indicated that the business committee should schedule it for its decision to be taken next week. Mr. Speaker, we have barely 3 or 4 weeks to go on recess. Mr. Speaker, I think once it has been programmed and the members are here, the leader of the house is here. Mr. Speaker, we have the numbers to go ahead. Mr. Speaker, we have the numbers to go ahead, and we are ready to help them. Mr. Speaker, time is not on our side. As I speak to you, Mr. Speaker, if you listen to the minority leader rendition yesterday, Ghana, we are in crisis. Mr. Speaker, we are in a street. And you can't be in a street and be joking. We must assist, Mr. Speaker, for us to address the issues. So, Mr. Speaker, clearly speaking, Mr. Speaker, as leadership of the House, we must account for our numbers to come and do business in the House. Mr. Speaker, we have time, we've been voted for, and we're voted for to come and do business on behalf of Ghanaians. And that is why we have come. Mr. Speaker, today is today, and the decision must be taken. You want the decision to be taken, the decision is on the other paper, and it must be taken today. We are ready for the decision today. And the decision must be taken now.
Honorable members. Well, I will listen to the majority leader, but I hope and pray that your submission is not to debate the decision and directive of the Speaker. Yes.
The Speaker, is that advice to me?
Is that advice to me? I just want to take a cue. Is that advice that you're proffering to me?
I was to the Deputy Minority Whip. What he said, I'm saying that I hope and pray that what he said is not to debate the directive of the Speaker on this matter. Well, as he himself quoted, I've stated clearly my position and given a directive. So that is not subject to debate. And that's what I just drew his attention to. But because
the Speaker, is just an appeal. I don't qualify to challenge your decision at all.
yes, and that is why I call on the majority leader, where you made statements definitely beyond the perimeter of this House into what we are constituted to do, the highest political platform for national debate. And so I'm allowing the majority leader to also have a word.
The Speaker, first of all, for the record, when we stepped out, we did not misinform the public. We related to the truth as happened in this House. We related to the truth as happened in this House. Mr. Speaker, so we have not misinformed the public. What we spoke to is captured right here in the votes and proceedings. That the question on whether or not the motion for the approval of the budget statement and economic policy should be done by this House was done, and the ayes had it. The Speaker, that is what is here. And nobody here has challenged that the question was put, and in the period of the chair, the motion was agreed to. The Speaker, as I've said, subsequently, a head count was sought by the Deputy Minority Leader. The Speaker, it is that head count, that application, that is still not dispensed with. That head count has not been dispensed with. It should not be confused under any circumstances. Anybody who knows parliamentary practice, it should not be confused under any circumstances that the Speaker has not said that the ayes have it. Mr. Speaker, and then when you say that the ayes have it, and people are making issue about it, Mr. Speaker, the ayes have it is a term of art in any parliament, and it's a tragedy for people who don't even appreciate this. It's a tragedy on the part of people who don't even appreciate it. Mr. Speaker, now you refer to Order 98. Mr. Speaker, we raised preliminary issues. The Deputy Minority Leader who came and sought a head count came on the premise that he was challenging the ruling of the Speaker. The Speaker, that is what he said. And that is what engendered the preliminary issue that I raised. That what he was doing was an abuse of the processes, because the moment he said that he was challenging the ruling of the Speaker, then he ought to have come by a motion. Mr. Speaker, go to the records. Play the audio visual. That is what he said, that he was challenging the ruling of the Speaker. The Speaker, so that is why we raised those preliminary issues. I don't think that now we are correcting votes and proceedings, and I don't think that we should be going into this. And my colleagues are leading us on that path. And if you have to go on that path, the truth will be told here. Mr. Speaker, so that is what occasioned the preliminary issues that we have raised. I'm happy that you have said that you have given that directive. Mr. Speaker, it is not to question it. What is captured as item 10 on the motion, on the order paper for today, states that this honorable House approves the budget statement and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2024. Head count to be taken. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the voice vote has been dispensed with, you have pronounced on it, and it's been challenged. And the head count is being sought. That is what has been advertised here. It has nothing to do with the voice vote that we have declared. Mr. Speaker, if a ruling is given by a court and you appeal, to the extent that the appeal is not dispensed with, the ruling stands. That is what people should understand. That is what people should understand. If you don't understand, that is your problem. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, I thought we were dealing with the votes and proceedings. So when colleagues rose and were sidetracking, I thought we were going to rein them in and bring them back. But that is what it is. And Mr. Speaker, I think we'll go by your directive that on the 5th or 6th, 7th, that we'll do what is required of this House to be done. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.
Honourable members, let's move on. Every speaker depends a lot on the guidance of leadership. And because of the nature of this parliament, a hung parliament, I place a lot of premium on pre-sitting meetings. Pre-sitting meetings with leadership. Honourable members, this is what happens on a daily basis. Members come into this house, listen to what they want to hear. Even sometimes when it's not said, they still hear it. Members come to see what they want to see. Even when it doesn't exist, they see it. And so when they go out, they say what they want to hear and tell people what they've seen. This is what happens here. Before we always come in, every morning we have pre-sitting meetings in my lobby. And we go through the business of that day. How are we going to handle the business? Where we disagree, we go through how we'll iron out in detail the disagreement. We did that in respect of this item. And we all knew what was going to be played out. That is what we do. And that is what guides the speaker. And that is what I followed yesterday to the letter. We knew that there will be both sides with numbers, and therefore it will be difficult for a speaker to tell, particularly when people yell, as to which side have the numbers more than the other. And so we all agree that I will use the same term that we all use. I think, whether the nose have it or the eyes have it. Then opportunity is created for somebody to challenge my thinking. We went through all this in the pre-sitting meeting, and therefore there will be a head count. We went through all that, and that was what played out yesterday. How can Speaker be blamed for going through what we agreed upon? Please, when you attack the Speaker, you are attacking Parliament. Because you are not attacking Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagby, because Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagby has made it. If not, I would have been seated here as Speaker. So the legacy is there. But we need to build this house. And I keep on telling you, this is a house of might and majesty. Might because of its influence. Its influence, what we do as a house, affects all Ghanaians. And it has effect globally. And so we need some respect, we need some dignity. That is why when you go to the court, there's a code of conduct there. You just don't behave anyhow in a court of law. If not, you undermine the power of the rule of law. And so please, let's accord this house the same respect. If you yourself don't do it, how will the people you represent do the same? They will follow your examples, because it's leadership by example. So I was really surprised, and I didn't want to go this far, but because you are playing it out again on the floor, I'm compelled to let people know that all what happened here, all what I followed, we agreed before we came into the house. With this, we'll move on. Page 13. Honorable members, we are still at the votes and proceedings. Page 13, yes.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful. Mr. Speaker, on page 13, even before I come to that, Mr. Speaker, I'm a little bit worried this afternoon. When I came, I didn't see my colleagues.
Honorable member.
I'll come to that.
Votes and proceedings.
Yes.
Start with that. Start with that.
I'll come to that.
No. Start with that.
On page 13, paragraph 3, you have some members of the majority group walked out of the chamber. I hope you give me time to bring my second concern. Now, I think that the reading should be majority members of the majority group ran away out of the chamber. That's what I think should be the case. Then my second point is my concern about the fact that when I walked in today, I didn't see majority of my friends from the majority side. And so I tried making calls to some of them because I was worried whether they were kidnapped or something. Now, Speaker, just now, one of them forwarded a message to me, and I want the majority chief way to confirm it.
No, the message is for your consumption. Okay. Please, it's for your consumption. Yes, it's not for them.
Yes, so I want to share it. That the majority chief whip instructed that they shouldn't come to work today.
Honorable member.
And I want to find out whether they pay today or not.
Honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Please. Honorable members, please. They have made a submission. I want to respond to the fact that no member of the majority group ran away. No member ran away. Some members of the majority group walked out. They walked, they didn't run. Please, enough is enough. Let's go on. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, page 13. Yes, Ablakwa.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I note that the spelling of head count under our standing orders, order 1132, is different from what has been captured. And if we can just align our records, head count under order 1132 is spelled HEAD, no hyphen, COUNT. Both 1131 and then 1132. But the way it's been captured here in the first paragraph and the second paragraph at page 13 is different from what our standing order provides.
Yes, table office, please cross-check on that.
And then
whether
finally,
it's
Mr.
one
Speaker,
word or compound word.
And then finally, Mr. Speaker, we respectfully agree with you that some members of the majority group walked out of the chamber. But Mr. Speaker, can we add sensing defeat?
Honourable members,
Sensing defeat.
honourable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of the 21st sitting dated Wednesday, 29th November 2023 are adopted as a true record of proceedings. We don't have a copy of any official report, and so we'll move on to item Actually, we move on to at the commencement of public business. At the commencement of public business. Sorry, item 5. Item 5. Business statement for the 6th week. Item 5. Business statement for the 6th week. Please, the spelling of 6th. Table office, kindly take note. Let's go on. 6th. It's not well spelled here. The copy that I have. Yes, go on.
Speaker, may I...
Please, let's listen to the majority chief whip.
Come in. Why? Why? Mr. Speaker.
Majority chief whip.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. He's the majority.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, indeed you are right. The majority side is on here, and this side today at least. Mr. Speaker, I don't think we have enough colleagues in the House.
Honorable member, you are the minority chief whip. I have called on the majority chief whip to present the business statement. We are not talking about today or tomorrow. We are talking about the person known as majority chief whip. Please present the statement.
Speaker, he's a very good friend, and I understand what he's doing. Speaker, may I seek your leave, and with the blessing of the leader of government business, that the deputy whip is given the chance to present the statement instead of, because the leader is not in the best of shape. Speaker, the leader of government business is not in the best of shape to do the presentation of the statement. Speaker, with your leave.
Yes. Majority Deputy Whip.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, your committee met today, Thursday, 30th November 2023, and arranged the business for
Please,
the
just a minute. Just a minute. Surprisingly, the staff was sitting with the copies there. They've not shared it among the members.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, your committee met today, 30th November 2023, and arranged the business of the House for the 6-week ending Friday, 8th December 2023. Mr. Speaker, questions have been programmed in total 76 questions, 65 oral and 11 agent questions. Mr. Speaker, under Order 72, statement may be permitted to be made by ministers, bills and papers and reports, motions and its resolutions may be allowed. And Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee once again urged the Minister for Finance and other ministries, departments and agencies, as well as the independent constitutional bodies, to endeavor to submit their heads of estimate very early for the expedite consideration and approval of the House. Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee reminds all committees that the House has barely 2 weeks to consider the budget estimate and the appropriation bill. In this regard, the Business Committee urged committees to expedite work on the respective sectors estimate for consideration of the House. Mr. Speaker, this is the business report of your Business Committee. Thank you.
Honorable members, the official report should capture the business statement in its entirety as having been read and presented to the House. Honorable members, it's now for your consideration.
Mr. Speaker, once again, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the business report that has been submitted to the House. Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, you just said that the Business Committee must program the date in which the decision for the budget statement and the budget policy will be taken. Mr. Speaker, it is missing in this business statement before us. Mr. Speaker, it is only right that we program it and we know exactly the date that we will take that decision. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, attached to the business statement is a schedule for submission of committee reports and debate of annual estimate for the 2024 financial year, Mr. Speaker. And you can see that some of the date for submission of reports is Thursday, Friday of next week. Mr. Speaker, how can we adopt or debate a report on the estimate of ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as constitutional bodies, when the budget policy itself we have not taken a debate on? Mr. Speaker, that cannot be right. That cannot be right. Until we take decision on the policy, we cannot consider the estimate for ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as the constitutional bodies. Because this policy is what gives rise to the estimate. Mr. Speaker, I submit that this schedule be pushed further to the following week until a decision has been taken by this House on the budget policy. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Yes, Honorable Emmanuel Bejira.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, your business statement or the business statement from the Business Committee has taken off completely a bill that has been submitted to this House by seven members of this House, known as Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Value Bill. Mr. Speaker, it's been programmed since last 2 weeks under the consideration stage for it to be taken through the consideration stage. But missing in the business statement, where we have consideration stage of bills, we do not have this private members bill stated in the business statement. And Mr. Speaker, so I would like to find out from the business committee whether the private members bill, which is the proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family value bills, will not be taken again at all. Let us know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you recall that sometime last 2 weeks, you gave a directive that a committee of inquiry be constituted to look into the Akosombo spillage and its effect. That day, after the debates and everything, it was suggested that the constitution of the committee be deferred to a later date. Up to date, nothing has been heard of it. Mr. Speaker, it is worrying that this House continues, you continue to give certain directives and sometimes refer certain actions to be taken by some of your committees and nothing is done. I recall that there was an issue concerning COVID expenditure investigations, and you directed a committee, the Committee of Finance and Health, to go and look into that. Up to date, every attempt to get the two chairmen to even call a meeting has fallen on deaf ears. Mr. Speaker, with the issue of the Akosombo Dam spillage, I want to find out when that committee will be constituted so that at least we will go into this and make sure that that unfortunate incident doesn't recur. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Suhini.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to get guidance from you on two issues. Mr. Speaker, the first issue has to do with the business statement that has been presented by the Deputy Majority Whip. Mr. Speaker, on page 3, you have statements, presentation of papers, annual budget estimates of the audit service for the year ending 31st December 2024. And it goes on. Mr. Speaker, earlier you gave a directive that the budget statement is still before the House, and that later this week, next week, the decision will be taken on what the status of the budget is. So when I have this listed on Monday, and the indication is that the budget estimates will be presented on Monday, and next week starts from Monday, I am wondering what that means as far as your earlier directive, that the final decision on the budget will be taken sometime next week is concerned. So that's the guidance, first of all, that I want. The second guidance, Mr. Speaker, relates to the condition of the House this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, when I look at the votes and proceedings, and I look at page 8, you have members who were absent with permission, and their names are captured on page 8 of the votes and proceedings. Mr. Speaker, when you look at our standing orders also, standing order 15.2 says that, starting from 1, every member shall attend the service of the House unless leave of absence has been given him by Mr. Speaker. 2, leave of absence may be given by Mr. Speaker to any member who shows sufficient cause justifying his absence or who is away on official or parliamentary duties. 16.2 says a member shall be excused from service on the House or any committee so long as he has leave
of absence. Mr. Speaker, so my second guidance sought from you is in relation to the condition of the House today. When I look at the other side, I see that most of the seats behind the leadership of the majority is empty. And I want to be guided if this is as a result of absence that have been sought from you, and if it has been granted. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Ablakwa.
I'm most grateful, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. First of all, please permit me to associate with the concerns raised by my good neighbour, the Honourable MP for Eso Jaman, the Honourable Thomas Ampem, on the outstanding issue of the committee that, Mr. Speaker, you very eloquently ruled that we'll have to set up. I know that we are busy with budget, but at least the composition can be done, and they can start doing some initial homework, sending out invitations and all of that, so that after this meeting, we can get into the work. Because, Mr. Speaker, there are so many important, outstanding issues relating to that directive, and we need to take action on that. Mr. Speaker, the next issue that I want to raise relates to the questions that have been listed for today. Obviously, we cannot take the questions. A number of colleagues and I have urgent questions and other questions for the Honourable Minister responsible for finance. My question, specifically question 6A, is to ask the Minister for Finance if government is considering utilizing the 2023 contingency vote approved by Parliament to bring much needed urgent relief to displaced victims of the recent VRA-induced floods, particularly for resettlement and compensation. Mr. Speaker, all these questions do not feature at all in the business statement. I would respectfully like to seek your guidance if something can be done so that the clerks at table or the business committee would do well so that these questions, which are urgent and very important, can find expression next week so that, Mr. Speaker, the ministers will appear and respond to that. Mr. Speaker, related to questions also is the questions for Monday, 4th December 2023 at page 1 of the business statement. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister for Works and Housing is scheduled to appear before us on Monday. I filed an urgent question about 3 weeks ago, which you have approved. Mr. Speaker, our standing orders are very clear that urgent questions should not go beyond 10 sittings, 10 working days. It's long past that, Mr. Speaker. And we have an opportunity of the Works and Housing Minister coming on Monday. And I'm surprised that that question has not been added. I have followed up, Mr. Speaker, as we are enjoined to do under our standing orders. And I see that your office has approved it. And I'm surprised that the clerks at table have not added that question, because it relates to the Saglemi housing project and why the displaced VRA-induced flood victims are not being moved to the Saglemi housing project. That is a very urgent matter. As we speak, thousands are living under inhumane conditions, under conditions that are very excruciating. They are living like destitute, like refugees in the land of their birth. That cannot be allowed. And if the Works and Housing Minister is coming here on Monday, why is that question not being added to the questions that, because he's coming to answer only 2 questions. I don't think that that is good use of parliamentary time. We should add that question so that he will respond to those 3 questions. So, Mr. Speaker, These are my concerns, and I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the business statement as presented by the second deputy whip, the majority. Mr. Speaker, I have been reiterating this point that even though we are within the budget hearing cycle and we are so busy, I think we should be able to accommodate the Electoral Commission to come to the House, Mr. Speaker, to brief us. Mr. Speaker, importantly because the district level elections is so critical that this House is briefed on the preparations so far undertaken by the Electoral Commission to hold that election. Mr. Speaker, especially also because the CIs as laid by the Electoral Commission in this House on the 31st day of October have matured yesterday after 21 parliamentary sitting dates. And so the indications, CI 137, 138, in respect of the organization of the district level elections, as well as the creation of the Guam constituency and the holding of elections in the Jasikai municipality. Mr. Speaker, I'm raising this point because when the Electoral Commission appeared before your committee, the subsidiary committee, and these matters were interrogated, there were some explanations regarding whether or not they will be able to hold the elections concurrently in all the districts as well as that of the Guam and Jasikai, especially if the CIs mature early. And the House took all the necessary steps to ensure that the CIs matured days before the anticipated 5th of December. So, as a House, we need to be brief and to assure the people who earlier on were considered not to participate in the 19th of December DLE elections, whether or not they will participate in it, and what preparations has been put together to ensure that they participate fully by way of receiving, filing of nominations and all that. So, Mr. Speaker, I pray that we accommodate them next week, however heavy our business is. And Mr. Speaker, secondly, it may not be a matter immediately arising from the business statement, but it is customary that any time before the celebration of the Farmers' Day, the Minister of Agric will come to this House and brief us regarding preparations for the Farmers' Day and what arrangements have been made for members of Parliament to visit their districts and participate. I am scandalized that the Minister of Agric and the Honourable Member for Ebitifi is not in this House when tomorrow is Farmers' Day. And Mr. Speaker, it's the first time that I can recall that this is happening, and it is not funny. So it is such an important omission that this House must not gloss over. How are we visiting our constituencies tomorrow? What will be the role of members of Parliament? Exactly what are we doing? Mr. Speaker, what program do we have? What are the arrangements? The Minister of Agric or his deputies ought to have been here, any of them, to have briefed us. Mr. Speaker, finally, let me say that you have called for an inquiry into the VRA spillage and the flooding. Mr. Speaker, I throw my weight behind the call by my brothers. This matter must not be glossed over. It has to be approached with all the agency that it deserves. So that, Mr. Speaker, for once, your directive that there should be a parliamentary inquiry, as you have done in many, many cases, but appears to be in abeyance. This one, Mr. Speaker, we are with you. And we are asking, I think leadership was tasked to constitute, to provide the names and the members who constitute the committee. I'm praying leadership to be able to do this by close of business today, so that Monday, Mr. Speaker, you can announce the membership of the committee, then the committee can proceed to work expeditiously and bring us a report when we return in the new year. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With regards to the questions, I was hoping that this time the Minister for Railways Development will actually answer these questions, because my question number 1538 is with regards to a disaster that happened in the constituency over 3 years ago, Mr. Speaker. And this question has been pending for quite a while. And I've had a lot of complaints from the people in the market whose livelihoods have been affected and who are being harassed by criminals because the market has not been rebuilt. And so, Mr. Speaker, just appealing that this question will be answered this time, because I had a few questions last meeting which were also not answered, even though they were advertised. And it seems to be something that happens quite often to some of my questions. So just a humble appeal that the Minister will actually answer these questions so that my constituents can have some assurance of what their future is. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, 2 days ago, I rose to make complaints about some questions that were advertised on Friday. Those questions included Dr. Zaneto's question. And my question was directed to the Minister responsible for roads and highways. Mr. Speaker, the question is very dear to my heart because it's about a road that goes through Nakobe to Sanyare and Beniri. These are very important communities in my constituency, Mr. Speaker. And those communities are the communities that feed the solar market with foodstuff. Mr. Speaker, that particular road was reshaped yearly when the NDC was in power. Mr. Speaker, for the past 7 years, nothing has been done on that road, and it has deteriorated completely. That is why I think the Minister should come and give us reasons why that particular road has been abandoned. So, Mr. Speaker, that day when I raised the issue, you directed the table office to ensure that the question is rescheduled for me to ask the Roads Minister. So I plead with you once again to see how the question will feature, probably next week, so that we don't rise without me asking that question. I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, Business Committee, Majority Deputy Whip or the Majority Leader can respond to the concerns that are raised. There are comments they've raised and he has to respond to them. You want to do so before Majority Leader, that he wants to add 1 point, so you take them all together. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to re-emphasize the rendition of the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, we must all assist you and take your directives and indications very serious. And I believe where we are now, the indication that you have given, even at times when Parliament has a day to sit, I'm a member of the Business Committee. We can early morning consider the business to be taken before the order paper is printed. So Monday will not be late. And Mr. Speaker, if we don't begin or start taking seriously your directives and indications, this Parliament may go somewhere. Mr. Speaker, may I refer you to Order 5, interpretation of orders. In case of doubt, these orders shall be interpreted by Mr. Speaker as he thinks fit. And Order 6 goes further to say that where even there is doubt, Mr. Speaker, you shall make provisions and make discretion as you deem fit. You have given directives on this. I think, Mr. Speaker, Monday, a budget that has not been approved, estimate has been slated for Monday, some has been slated to be laid on Tuesday. The minority leader has stated clearly that so long as the principles have not yet been approved, the estimates must not be programmed. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to send strong indication that we in this House, including leadership, must support you and take your word very serious. So that Monday early morning, first thing, the business committee must meet. And when we meet, we make provision for that decision and indication that you've given. For it to be part of the business statement, to bring it here before the other people, Mr. Speaker, is printed and taken. If we don't start doing that, Mr. Speaker, we may be heading towards certain places where rules and procedure will not be followed. So, Mr. Speaker, based on that, I think that this business statement today must not even be adopted because it's inconclusive. Why didn't we bring laying of the estimates and those things even last week? Because the principles of the budget has not been approved. And if now they still not yet been approved, and you have given indication for us in leadership to take your word very serious, Mr. Speaker, I think we must go by the indication from the minority leader that Monday business committee must meet, program for that order or that indication to find space on the other paper and the business statement. Before, Mr. Speaker, we can proceed. Other than that, Mr. Speaker, we may not be heading towards a good direction. That is my rendition. So I readily support my minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think the directive that you gave in respect of the decision is loud and clear, and it will be factored into the business for Thursday. Mr. Speaker, that's the directive. It's a directive that came from the Speaker, unless you are expressing disagreement with that. It's a directive that came from the Speaker, unless you are expressing disagreement. Ahmed. Sorry. The Speaker, this prodigal son, I don't know. The Speaker, so it will be factored into it. The other matters raised by the Honourable Kujitu, I think you wanted some urgent questions to be factored into. I think we'll roll them out into the next week. If the minister can, but I do not know the status. If they've been admitted by the Speaker, then we'll follow through to be transmitted to the minister. The Speaker, as for what the Honourable Suini related to, I don't want to respond to that. When he says that he related to some seats being empty and so on and so forth. Mr. Speaker, some seats being empty. Mr. Speaker, I'm quoting him. He says most of the seats behind me, I'm quoting him, is empty. Mr. Speaker, the House will capture him. He said most of the seats is empty. So it's singularizing plural. So, Mr. Speaker, I captured it right. Mr. Speaker, you are not the editor of this house. You are not the editor of this house. Mr. Speaker, what I heard is what I refer. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. The Committee on Spillage. The Committee on Spillage, I understand, is supposed to be a 6-member committee. I'm not too sure that we can finish with the task today. I will engage my colleague. We'll deal with it, and maybe the next sitting day, the next succeeding sitting day, we'll come up with the names for Parliament to adopt the composition of the committee, and I believe we can move on. Yes, Speaker, the other matter has to do with a brief by the EC being sought by one colleague. Speaker, first we must appreciate the point, because oftentimes members make these requests. And the next time you hear them, they are speaking to radio. Then, oh, this house made a request. As an individual, if you make a request, it remains an individual request. If it is from the house, it is from the house. But, Mr. Speaker, if the directive from the chair is that, well, it is relevant, can we invite the EC? So be it. But as it is now, it is an individual making a request. It's not that of the House. Mr. Speaker, I will suggest, in any event, that because we are in the business of attending to their estimates, within the next few days, they'll be here. And when they come, I guess we can relate these matters to them. And Mr. Speaker, for the umpteenth time, let me say that the majority did not run away from our budget. Mr. Speaker, we walked out. We walked out after the Speaker had announced that the budget had received an aye response. Yes. If we want to litigate it further, that litigation could happen. And it's been slated, as the Speaker has directed, to Thursday. And Thursday next week, we'll deal with it. Mr. Speaker, questions meant for today, which will not be related to will be reprogrammed for next week. And because so many of them are outstanding, at the business committee today, we indicated for them to reprogram all these outstanding questions so that we can make judicious use of the time next week when we will not be attending to the estimates. Mr. Speaker, members have raised issues about the pendency of the headcount when papers relating to estimates must be presented to the House. Mr. Speaker, I believe that is a matter that the House can deal with. The Subsidiary Legislation Committee, for instance, has before it this instrument from the Trade and Industry Committee, the Trade and Industry Ministry. Formally, it was already been before us, and yet we spent precious time discussing it here. These backroom consultations could happen, and we all do agree that we would not have much time. So if they do come, let's assume that the House comes to reject it. It's rendered odious. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, you are making a good point. By convention, we have been approving the budget statement and economic policy. Mr. Speaker, you recollect when we were having the post-budget workshop right here in this House, I raised this matter. Happily, this is finding expression in the new standing orders. And Mr. Speaker, you related to it this morning. If you look at the Constitution carefully, you realize that what you have even been doing by purporting to be approving of the policy has nothing to do with the Constitution.
The Constitution has this.
It has nothing to do with the Constitution. The Speaker, the Constitution just says that it should be brought to us for our information. This is not Supreme Court matter. What is here is that, and I'm talking about Article 179 of the Constitution, clause, Mr. Speaker, if you listen to the Speaker, the approval is for the appropriations bill, which this one will lead us to. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Suhini should take time to listen to me. You shouldn't only listen, but take notes. Mr. Speaker, so it's a substantive matter that this House should deal with. Doesn't mean that what we have been doing in this House is unconstitutional. It's a convention that we have been resorting to, but clearly it amounts to no constitutional breach if it passes through before we get to the level of the approval of the appropriations bill. But, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about a convention that may not sit with the Constitution. That is the point that I'm making to you. Who tells you that? Who tells you that? Who tells you that? This is what's the constituency? What's the constituency?
Not
interpretation of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I thank you very much.
Honorable members, order 15, sorry, order 55, order 55 says any item of business standing on the order paper on any particular day which has not been completed or reached on the interruption of business under the pertinent provisions of these standing orders shall be placed on the order paper for the next sitting day in such order as the business committee may determine. So whatever business are being captured and are outstanding, they are rolled over as we go along. And so they will come anytime they are scheduled for the business of the day. You don't have to keep on capturing them on the business statement. Then order 140. Particularly 4 says that part of the budget relating to the ministries for which they have responsibility shall stand committed respectively to the committees responsible for the subject matter to which the heads of estimates relate as referred to in order 1512 and 152, and each of such committee shall consider the relevant heads of estimates committed to it and report on it to the House within such time as the business committee may determine. And that is why usually at the presentation, or I should say after the presentation of the budget statement and economic policies, the statement that you make in 143 talks about those estimates standing referred to the relevant committees. And so what we discussed with leadership was to, as of now, I'm told that we've only received four estimates from the various ministries, departments, and agencies, only 4. And so as they come in, they are referred to the relevant committees. What is outstanding is a recomposition of the committees to take into consideration the changes that have been med during the course of the meeting. And so you have some members who were leaders of some committees appointed to be ministers or deputy ministers. Then on the side of the minority, you have a reshuffle of leadership, and some members of the leadership were leaders of committees. Definitely they cannot hold both positions. So there is an urgent need for us to recompose the committees. The Committee on Selection have sat on that, and we are presenting the report. The report will be taken on Monday. So the committees will now be properly recomposed. And because of that, the estimates that are received will be referred to those committees to handle. Thursday, then we'll take the decision on the budget. So that is what has been planned. With regard to the issue of the Akosombo spillage, I did indicate that we're going to establish a committee that will look at it comprehensively and make recommendations to this House as to how we could attend to the current situation and also take measures to prevent future occurrences. That committee, because of the nature of business, we realize that even if it is established, you will not have the time to go and do the work because you will be needed to take decisions on the floor, like what happened yesterday. And so that is on hold, which I'll do immediately we finish the issue of the decision on the budget statement. So that one will be done. I am to do that, and I want to give an indication that the committee will not be made up of only members of parliament. No. Because of what you referred to earlier on, there are a number of referrals to committees that are made up of only members of parliament, and in spite of my insistence that the committee should report to the House, the committees have failed and or refused to report to the House. When you look at the standing orders, there's not much that the Speaker can do. You have to rely on the leadership of the House to use such opportunities to reshuffle the members from maybe from the committees that they are leading. That is what is in the standing orders. We don't want to always be mentioning names because of the effect on you at your constituencies. And so as we try to protect you and preserve your integrity and your positions, you continue to abuse the privileges that we extend to you. And truly those committees are still expecting, because I've asked the clerk at the table to give me all the outstanding referrals. And at the appropriate time, I'll personally take some measures against those committees, particularly the leadership of the committees. I'm aware of the one on the COVID. I'm aware of so many of them, and they will not just go unpunished. Then the issue of the EC, I think the majority leader has responded to that. And the other programs, he has responded to all of them. But leave of absence clearly did not come to our notice. So there is no leave of absence. We will move on to say that you still want to raise issues on the budget, the business statement? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we can't just pretend that what's happening in the House today is normal. The majority leader ought to tell the House why he's here with only his deputy. Mr. Speaker, the world is watching us. If they have an issue why they decided not to come to work, they have to say, Mr. Speaker, I still don't feel comfortable that the business statement as read by the majority, on behalf of the majority by the Deputy Whip, should be adopted, Mr. Speaker, so that we can send a signal that there was something wrong with the sitting today, Mr. Speaker. I wish we can actually defer the adoption of today's business statement until Monday, when we see more of our colleagues on the other side. Because they are not here, and the majority leader has failed to tell us that, oh, today too, we are boycotting, we have decided that only the two of us we are here. Mr. Speaker, when we were closing yesterday, we thought we were coming here this morning to continue with what is captured under item 10, the motion. So, Mr. Speaker, they can't decide that the passage of the budget, for the first time,
we have to decide.
A government have decided, don't approve my budget until next week Thursday. The government, which is broke, which is looking for everything they can find, who is begging everybody in the world, is begging the minority, don't come and approve our budget until next week Thursday. Mr. Speaker, today is not a normal day.
It's historic.
Today is a historic day. I'm not aware of any government that has actually asked that this budget should not be approved when people are ready to approve the budget. So, Mr. Speaker, the least we can do is to defer the decision to adopt the business of next week to next week, so we find a little bit more of them. As we were speaking, the Deputy Whip just came in. There are just 3 in Parliament today. The world would like to know, how come only 3 of you from the New Patriotic Party are in Parliament today? Out of 138. Mr. Speaker, today is not a normal day. And Mr. Speaker, I'm pleading with you, defer the adoption of, I know we don't vote on it, defer the adoption of today, next week business until Monday. We want to see more of them in the chamber before we take that decision, Mr. Speaker. It is very, very important. We can never pretend that, in fact, even on our side, the numbers are depleted. Out of frustration from the other side, colleagues are even leaving the chamber. So, Mr. Speaker, we cannot pretend that today is a normal day. If our colleagues have an issue, why they will not come to Parliament, the world need to know. So, Mr. Speaker, the business statement has been read, but I know we don't need to vote on it, but Mr. Speaker, for the world to know that we are serious in this House, I will plead with you to defer the adoption of the business statement to Monday next week, when we have a little bit more of people from the other side combined with ours, that we can adopt the business statement. In any case, Mr. Speaker, people call for some additions or subtraction from what has been read. So it will be in place for us to come back on Monday. It's not like we've not done it before. When we go on adjournments in the day and we come, that day we go for the business committee meeting and come back and adopt the report on the same day. So it will not be out of place for us to do that, Mr. Speaker. I plead with you that it is totally unusual for us to have only 2 members of the majority sitting in the chamber and still adopt a report brought here by them. The number keeps dwindling between 2 and 3. Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious thing, Mr. Speaker. Let's defer the adoption of the business statement to next week. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, let's move on. I think we've done a lot. We will have to adopt the business statement. Once the issue of quorum has not been raised and the decision taken on it, the absence of members cannot prevent the House from doing business. And so we'll have to adopt the business statement for today. Definitely, our proceedings are aired live, and so people will see what is on the floor. It's not for us to try to show that something is abnormal. It's for the people to see themselves and then decide. But I think the absence of the members have actually not been explained to me. So I can personally testify as to why they are not available. But we have the leadership available with us. Whether it's for good reason or bad reason, we don't know. We just have to go on with the business of the house. Please, let's adopt the business statement before we go on. Very important. But everything is important here. Yes.
Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, the impression, the majority leader has created the impression as though I am making a personal call for the Electoral Commission to brief the House. That is most inaccurate. About a month ago, it was the sense of the House that the Electoral Commission comes to brief the House. And so, when the then deputy majority leader who presented the business statement was responding to the issues, he assured the House, and the minority leader made the point that the Electoral Commission has to come, even before the budget got presented. And we were told that they will arrange for the Electoral Commission to come and brief the House. So I am only amplifying that call. It's not a personal request. I'm only insisting that the call by the House that they should come, they have to be brought for them to brief us. It's so important that they brief us before 19th happens, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Yes. Also, before you adopt the business statement, I just want to thank you. I have soberly reflected on some of the decisions you take. And I've completely realized that you do that completely out of love for country, in your deep sense of ensuring that the business of Ghana continues. Occasionally, myself and a lot of my colleagues will question, even when the majority, especially the majority leader. This morning I was forced to bump into OKFM after I heard the majority leader speak, and I won't go into it. But I just want to thank you and to say that you must be appreciated. Today, the decision you are making, a lot of stuff, but for the respect we have for you, we probably will be opposing it. But for the respect we have for you and what we know you want to achieve, we are going to continue to support you to make such decisions. But we want the majority leader and the leadership to appreciate the extent you go to support government business. And you deserve more than that. Instead of we discrediting you. It's very important. So I want to thank you. But I want to say that oftentimes we have to really accept some of these things out of respect for you. And the sense we know that you are trying to bring us together to move this country forward. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, the business statement, is it also the business statement? Honorable members, the business statement is accordingly adopted. Yes, majority leader, I wanted to say something.
That is so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, the minority chief whip is making a fetish of the numbers on the side at this time. And he says that there are only 3 of us here. I know. Mr. Speaker, I believe that at a point in time we were more than 3. At a point in time. Today, at a point in time, we were more than 3. Mr. Speaker, and I must say that even though the minority at this time outnumber the majority, outnumber the majority side, the number is 30. Yes, I've alluded to that. Having said so, Mr. Speaker, the issue that my colleague has related to, I have never disrespected the chair. Mr. Speaker, I believe the deputy minority leader should know that before Abraham was I am. Now that he's pretending to be your friend, Mr. Speaker, he should know that before he aligned with you, I was there already with you. He should know that. Mr. Speaker, you use a phrase. You should be wary of fair weather friends. You should be wary of fair weather friends. I have never.
Is today's weather fair?
Today's weather is very fair. Be wary of fair weather friends. Mr. Speaker, the Olympic man we used to know was Atema, not in this house. not in this house. Mr. Speaker, I have often restrained myself. And any time that I've disagreed with this